All right, ladies, we're back again. But this time I have a guest. This is my future sister-in-law, Maria. Say hi, Maria.
Hello.
Tonight we're going to talk about dating. As you get older, dating isn't quite as fun as we remember it to be. Going out to the club, hitting up, meeting a guy, going to the mall. Remember going to the mall, meeting people?
Oh, man.
That's how you meet people. You went to the mall, the skating rink.
Yes, those were the days. Yeah. Most definitely.
Not on the internet.
I mean, really. That's the only option we have these days.
Right.
Is the internet. Because no one talks to each other in public.
Right. Everybody's like this the whole time. You know, you're walking down the street. You should see them in the grocery store. Like, they run me over while I'm trying to hang tags because they're in their phones.
Oh, man.
It's crazy. But it's too, you know, you can date somebody you work with. But
you could.
I have a friend that is engaged to a guy that works at another Publix. And the rumors are flying because they're not in the same store. I mean, people just, you don't want to work, you know, with...
Well, yeah, because what if it goes south?
Then you got to look at him.
And then you got to look at him all the time.
Let me take this hallway.
Darting aisles, trying not to see him.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, I went to this club one night and we were drinking. It was my night to drink because my friends and I would switch. Like one night I would drive. That way that way kind of was more fun being a sober person because you get to watch your friend act like a fool. And so I was like dancing with this guy and hanging out with this guy, doing, you know, the kissing thing in the club. Thought I was all that. And coming to find out, we worked at the same company, but the company was so big that he was on a different floor in a different building. He started messaging me and wanting to go to lunch. I was like, all right, cool, you know, we hit it off. I go to meet this guy outside on the bench to get. I don't know where this guy came from because that's not the guy I remember hooking up with at the club the night before. I was like, ooh, who are you? You don't look nothing like the guy I remember. Wow. So that was what do they call those, beer goggles?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
So
you're pretty when I'm drunk.
Yeah. Isn't there a country song that says he married the waitress or something?
Yeah, I think it's like an Alan Jackson song. Yeah.
She has like one tooth or something. I don't even know my last name. Carrie Underwood song.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
No, I didn't go that bad, but I have gotten to the point where you wake up the next morning and just want to eat your own arm off just to get out of that room and leave.
I've definitely been in that
Sneak
situation.
out of there with your shoes, like tiptoe and hope you don't make any noises. And but it's a lot different now because you don't know anything. When you're out at if you're out at a mall or you're out at a restaurant or something, and back in the day, or the skating rink, or we used to cruise the block, you know, just get in the cars and everybody just cruise and we just hang out in the corner, hang out at McDonald's parking lot or whatever.
Yeah, we did that at the beach. We would go down A1A back and forth.
But you knew these people. You knew where they worked. You knew where they lived. You knew where they went to school. You knew, heck, I knew most of the parents, these people that I would go out with and hang out with. Right, we knew each other. We knew of them through other people. Now, you know, you meet somebody, God knows if that's really the person you're meeting online.
Right, yes. Lots of scammers.
Or if they're even close by. I mean, I met a guy one time that claimed that he was in the military. Right? So, you know, I'm in the military. When I get back home, okay. You ain't a military fool. Then he wanted to, you know, we talked for about a week, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, you know, I need $50. I need $100. Like, I need a lot of things. Right. So you got to have your guard up.
Oh, most definitely.
Right.
I get weirded out giving out my phone number. Really, because like everything is connected to your phone number now. Yeah. So it's like, are you trying to scam me for my phone number now?
Yeah. And then can you get into my phone?
Right.
What can you find out about me? Can you get in there? You know, or it's sad because you don't even want to give your full like last name or anything because.
Well, I've been noticing
they'll search you on
these
all
days.
The social medias.
I've been noticing that when a dude gives me his phone number and I put it into my phone as a contact, it brings up what the actual person who has the account's name is.
Yeah.
So like I get their full name. Or first, middle, and last.
Or somebody calls you and it says, you know, file new contact, you know, maybe John or maybe Lisa or whatever. It's like, wait a minute, you told me your name was Michael. How come it says maybe John? Who are you? What is going on?
Yes.
You know, so there are want to say fairy tale stories or whatever.
Oh yeah, Jason. Jason and Holly met online.
Joel, your brother and I met online. Yeah. My parents, my mom met my stepdad on, it was called Yahoo Personals back in the day. They are going out to dinner tomorrow, as a matter of fact, to celebrate their 23rd wedding anniversary.
Very cool.
So, but it was Yahoo Personals, and you would just put these little information in. You put one little like thumbnail picture in there, and that was it. But it was funny because I was single at the same time, and we were both on this Yahoo Personals thing. We were getting contacted by the same people. My mother and I were contacted by the same people. I don't know if I was getting the older guys or she was getting the younger guys, but it was a little bit weird. Be like, Mom, this guy sounds familiar. And she's like, yeah, read this guy. But Daryl was funny because he was like, I think it was like Southern Gentleman or something, and he didn't have a picture on his profile, and she didn't have one on hers. And he said, I want to get to know you before I send you a picture. And I'm like, what the hell does he look like, Mom? He's got like a scar down his face. I mean, why does he not want to send you a picture? I ended up being just the greatest guy, and she was so lucky to have met him, and he worships the ground that she walks on. And
that's what we all want.
But my situation, like I said, I met your brother, but he wasn't exactly easy at times. But I wouldn't want anything to be easy. It's a relationship that's too easy. It's a little scary. I mean, I dated my ex-husband for a month. He told me he loved me. Within 3 months, we were living together. We were married for 15 years, but it was just too.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was no complications. There was no struggles. There was no, battles getting to know each other. And I think that's a little much. I mean, you need to know.
Oh yeah, you need to know every detail these days, especially.
So I know that as we get older too, dating is a little harder.
It's a lot harder.
I feel like men think when we get to a certain age that we'll settle.
Mm-hmm.
We're desperate. Honey, I ain't desperate.
Well, it's actually the reverse though. And I think that men do think this, but it's actually in reverse because we're older now. We're not young, naive little 20-year-olds anymore, right?
That's true.
And we've been through life and we've had multiple relationships. And I think that women that are over the age of 40 and dating, they know what they want and they're not going to settle.
Right.
So if you're not that, they're just not going to waste their time.
No.
And
when you meet a man that's like 40, 45, 50 years old and he's living at home with his mama, what's that?
No.
You see a red flag?
Yes.
Red flag.
That's a huge red flag. But, to me, that's a red flag. But there's also, there's extenuating circumstances.
If mom's sick and he's taking care of mom, that's different, yeah.
If he's got to be there. But if it's his choice to be there.
Living in the basement, playing video games, not working.
Yeah.
I've met a few of those.
Living off mommy and daddy at 40 years old, that's just not cool.
Or there was a guy I talked to one time that was like, I'm in Social Security because I'm disabled. I said, you're disabled? What's your disability? I mean, I'm not, if you're in a wheelchair or something, that doesn't bother me. So what is your disability? Oh, when my mom died, I was stressed. So my attorney got me disability. I was like, so you're going to go back to work? Well, why should I when I make $1,000 a month?
Wow.
How do you live on $1,000 a month? He said,
I have no idea.
He said, well, I'm living in my parents' single wide trailer that they left me when they died, and I'm still driving the same Mustang from high school. And I'm doing the math, like, how long ago has it been since you've been in high school?
Right, and don't you have any aspirations to want to be something else?
Yeah, he wants to be somebody's little boy toy.
Oh,
he's looking for
wanted a sugar mama.
Yes.
He wanted a sugar mama.
Yeah, well, honey, that didn't work for me. I mean, I'm very strong and I'm very independent and I work and I take care of myself. When I met your brother, I had my own place. I had a full-time job. I had my own car. I had my grown daughter. He's got a grown daughter. We had a lot in common. And that's, it was basically, I wanted him in my life, but I didn't need him in my life. And that's the way you got to look at it nowadays. Back when we were in our 20s, it was like, these young girls now think I have to have a boyfriend. I have to have a boyfriend. There's something wrong with me if I don't have a boyfriend.
I thought that, seriously.
Yeah, I
thought
too.
That I was, because, growing up in Florida, being a bigger woman, you don't have a lot of choices, right? And men are few and far between that dig that kind of thing. So when I was in my 20s and I was 20 years old, I felt like that I would take whatever because I didn't have any options.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
so you didn't have a lot of options, you say, you know?
Yeah, but I did not have a lot of options. So the first boy or man who wanted to be more than just friends with benefits, because that's basically what I had all my life.
Yeah,
I was always good enough to be the friend, but never good enough to be the girlfriend.
Yeah, I've been there way too many times.
So when he wanted more, I jumped at it.
You're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, and I was in a relationship for 16 years. 16 years with him.
Nice. Hey, you know, at least we can say we're not, you know, 1 year with this, 1 year with that one. Can't even remember the names.
True.
I
Yes.
don't remember what others.
When we make mistakes, we make long mistakes.
Yes. Do we learn from them?
We try. Because if you remember my last relationship after the husband.
I do. I do.
It had its issues also.
Yeah. But I think, and no offense to my fiance, your brother, you know, it's all fine. Men in general, but they all have issues.
They do.
They say it's us. They say, what is it that we said, Big Bang? Bitches be crazy.
Right.
I think they the crazy ones. It's like, it must be your time of the month. Wait, it's obviously yours too. I think they go through it too. I mean, seriously.
Most definitely. With the anger, it's always anger with them.
Yeah.
With us, it's just frustration, sadness sometimes, and then, you know, but they get the anger.
Well, it's like I was talking to my best friend the other day, and she's like, "Why do I put myself through this?" I said, "What? You know, this is all I get on my text is why." WTF, and I'm like, okay, I need more information because I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Who are we getting mad at?
Is it Mike? Because if it's Mike, I'm gonna get mad. And she's like, yeah, we get in these arguments, and then I end up apologizing, even though I didn't do anything wrong. That is our go-to as women. Why do we always want to? I don't know if we apologize, that it's like
people run into me at the grocery store, and I apologize.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
And I didn't do nothing. I was just standing there.
I apologize to cars that if I'm like going too slow. Sorry. But she said, you know, that he asks me, okay, what's bothering you? Tell me what's bothering you. And when I finally do, he gets all defensive. And then I have to apologize for telling him what I feel. I said, Leah, don't do that. She's going to get mad at me for calling her out. Sorry, I love you, but I bring you in there.
We all do it.
It's so common. And I think sometimes we do the I'm sorry because we just want it to end. You know, we don't want to continue this, you know, either argument or blaming or whatever we call it. We just want to, okay, if I say I'm sorry, if I apologize, even if it's not my fault, things will get back to normal.
Yeah.
And I've learned recently to just, you know what? He gets mad at me for saying I'm sorry too much. Then I just leave the room.
Well, then I have nothing to say.
We'll talk later then. But even though we've been together almost 4 years, it's still so much learning about each other. Like,
oh yeah,
you find
and then
out
plus
things.
you're constantly growing over through the years.
Yeah,
you know, like you're changing all the time.
Yeah, we're not
and
the
it's hard
same
to keep
people.
up.
You're not the same people you were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
25 years. I'm glad
or
I'm
even
not.
4 years ago.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I think we've all grown.
But I know you're struggling with dating right now and trying to figure out, because everything is not, back then when we were dating, it was like, you just pick up the phone and you just talk.
Yeah.
You just talk and you get to know each other and you can kind of tell what they're thinking or feeling by the tone of their voices. You can't get a tone out of a text.
No.
And everything's emojis and
so much
miscommunication
too.
Yeah. You think you're being funny. Messages. You're like, you know, being a joke. If you don't put the LOL on the end, do they get that it's a joke? Do they get that you're just
I've caught myself asking, you know that was a joke, right? Because don't think I'm weird or anything.
Yeah. But then you wonder, okay, why are we texting all the time? Why can't you pick up the phone and call me? You know,
I don't know why people don't talk on the phone. I mean, I don't like to talk on the phone anymore. I used to back in the day.
When we would drag the phone cord around the house
right,
and go hide in the closet.
Yeah, most definitely. I talk on the phone all the time. But nowadays, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because as I get older, I'm actually not liking people. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm seriously though. I have very low tolerance in my older age for anybody else's BS.
Yeah.
You know.
I work in the public.
Either be real with me or I don't want to talk to you.
I'm out in the public every day, and I had come home days I'm like, just wish these people leave me alone. Just like today, I went to my boss. I said, we need a new rule. I said, okay. He said, we have the sign that says no dogs allowed. We need a sign that says no screaming children. Because this lady's walking through the grocery store with her kids screaming the entire time she's walking through. Like, she just la 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 looking at products on the store.
She don't hear it no
and
more.
this kid is just screaming, and we're all like, shut that kid up. And she's just like, so yeah, I understand not liking people, at all. And it's just, a friend of mine was telling me, we got these really cute guys that'll come in the store because we got the gym right beside our store.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, that guy is so fun. I said, yeah, I bet he's one of those guys that likes to look at himself more than he likes to look at you. You don't know anymore because he's all walking around.
I dated a guy like that who liked to watch himself.
What are you looking at? Making his biceps jump. Well, no, not bicep. What do you call it?
The pectorals. The pectorals. Yeah.
His pecs jump. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to date. I just come out of a divorce. I'd been separated for almost 2 years, and my daughter's like, Mom, you need to go find someone. I was living in this little bitty town where everybody that lived there went to high school together. They look at you and go, who are your people? My people? I got no people. What am I, a celebrity? Who are my people?
That's definitely
your family.
A Southern thing.
Your family. Who you related to? Where'd you go to school? I went to school, in Charlotte or whatever. Oh, so you're not from here. And it's like all of a sudden I got this disease and nobody wants to talk to me. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't meet friends. I started going to church with my mom. But, you go to church with your parents. Everybody in that church is like 55, 60 years old and older, and they're all married. So it's like, where do you meet people?
I don't know.
So she made this deal, Mom, get on the internet, get on these websites. And she signed me up for Tumblr. Is that the one? Tumblr?
No.
Tinder. Tinder.
I have yet to ever go on Tinder, so.
Well, watch the movie, The Tinder Swindler. I can't even say that.
Oh, is it like a documentary?
Yeah, and you won't want to get on Tinder ever again. And Plenty of Fish, and then there was another one, I don't remember what it was.
I just deleted that account.
So, yeah. But see, that's how I met Joel, was on Plenty of Fish. Yeah. But, everybody's like, oh, Tinder's the hookup site. But my friend Brittany met her husband on Tinder, so I don't know that there's one site. Well, there are sites out there, I'm sure that
there are a lot of
hookup sites. But
you just put in dating in the search bar on Google Play. Yeah, and the whole list of things comes up.
I'm sure. A friend of mine, when I was single, was like, oh, you should get on sugarbaby.com. I'm like, no, I'm good there. I think I'm just gonna pass on that one, but appreciate. But I had to go look. I had to go see what this was about. Maybe No, that is a bunch of men that are like 90 looking for 20-somethings. I'm like, no, I'm good. Think I'll pass. So, but I can't even imagine. I mean, it was hard for me. And I thank God every day that I found you. I'm very lucky that I have found my soulmate, my partner. Some days I like to kill my soulmate, my partner, but
that happens.
I think he feels the same about me. But, I was distracted by his call. Oops. But I wouldn't even know if the sites weren't out there, I wouldn't even know where to start. It was like meet him at the grocery store. Every man that's in that grocery store, 90% of them have got a wife or a kid or something.
You gotta look at what's in the cart. Yeah. I used to work at Publix. When
I
was a teenager, and I used to look at what men bought. Like, you can usually tell if they're married or not by what they're buying.
You see a bunch of them with a bunch of flowers in their cart. I'm like, wanting to go, what did you do? Because I know you know.
It ain't Valentine's Day, bro.
You ain't buying flowers. You ain't buying flowers. What did you do? I joined a gym at one point to meet men, but like I said, they're so busy like admiring their own arm muscles to notice what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I joined Gold's Gym, of all gyms to join, And the women would come in completely made up, jewelry, makeup, and these fancy little. I said, "What kind of workout are you doing?" I mean, you bend over.
Sweat. What are you gonna do?
You bend over, then pants are gonna split. I mean, what are you doing? So, if you're not looking online, there's
no place else to go.
No.
Because, like I said, no one talks to each other in public. Even if you went to the gym,
yeah,
it'd be weird if you just started walking up to random men, saying, "Hey, how are you?"
And I'd be like, "No, I ain't got no money. I ain't got no change.
Get away from me, homeless lady."
I was just trying to make friends. Why?
I mean, there's the random dude or chick that you'll be in like line at Walmart with that'll like something be going on and they'll turn to you and be like, start looking at you and you're just like,
oh, that's when you pick up your phone and you start going, hello? Oh yeah, I'm as soon as I get done, I'm pretend like there's somebody really there. And when I first started dating though, that's when I first started the location thing on my phone because my daughter was so panicking. You know, what if I can't get a hold of you? What if this? I know where you're at. I know where your car goes every second of every. I said it's probably a good thing. You know, I don't know if I'd have wanted that back in the day. You know, my parents. My mom knew where I was at half the time.
Oh Lord, my mom never knew where I was at. She actually hunted me down one time and left a note in my car that said, "Honor thy mother and father with a phone call."
Damn.
I was gone for like days, I guess. Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, so now that you've decided, because it's been a little bit since your last breakup,
year and 3 months,
you've healed.
Yeah.
You've taken the time for yourself and realized that, okay, I like myself. I'm a good place in my life. I got a good job.
Independent,
I'm strong.
very independent.
Yeah. It's hard to like ourselves though. I mean, as women, we always look at our own flaws worse than It's hard to be like, hey, I'm pretty, I'm smart, I'm funny. There's the right guy out there, you know, don't settle. So you decided to set up your profile. You decided to go out there looking.
I did.
Did you have any luck?
I had a few good connections with people, a couple of men, but they always end the same. It's like the conversation dwindles to nothing. And then some men say they don't want to be pen pals and like text all the time, but then you try to meet them and they either don't show up, they ghost you, or they end up being completely different than what their picture looked like. And I am a staunch believer in no filters.
Yeah, I don't
filter. None of my pictures have filters. I have full body shots. It'd be nice to see some full body shots of some men.
Not the full body shots they send you though.
No.
Not that.
What's with the fish?
Why?
All the men these days have pictures of them holding up fish, like they just caught it. And it's like we as women care that they fish.
I don't like fishing.
And what they caught.
I eat fish, but I'm not going on a fishing date with you. I'm not putting a worm on a hook. I'm not going out there, put my waders on and going out there fishing. I mean, Joel loves to fish. Let him take his daughter. That's cool. You do you, man, but I'm not turned on by you and a fish, dude. I mean, you and your dog? That'd be cute, but a fish?
Yeah.
No.
It's very difficult because men don't know how to take pictures of themselves either. And then if they have really good pictures, you kind of think they're a scammer. Yeah. Like they got them offline.
I mean, how many people look like that and, you know, they're single that are currently...
There must be something wrong with them.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
What mental dysfunction do you have?
Yeah, did you just walk off the front in GQ and you live in Sharon, South Carolina? I live in this little town. If you lived here, I'd have seen you by now. Where you hiding?
I ran the gas station. I have run into you, I'm sure. But it's also like I look at people's interests. And if there's one thing that I don't like if you're a gym rat,
I'm done.
I'm not getting with a gym rat, man. I'm not getting with somebody who wants to go camping.
Oh God, no. I ain't sleeping in a tent on the ground.
I don't sleep on the floor anymore.
I get down there. I ain't getting back up.
Lord. And then I look if you have kids, and kids I'm kind of iffy on because I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've never had children myself, so I don't know. But I want that.
And at our age, though, it didn't really bother me that he had a child because
She was
She's
older.
grown.
Yeah.
And my daughter's grown.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never had to.
I don't know if I'd be
cater to a child.
A 5-year-old
Yeah.
that's got a mom and an issue. You just don't know. You don't know what
you
you're
don't know.
walking
Yeah,
into.
you don't know what the baby mama situation is either.
And he might be a widow. He might have kids. You don't know, but you don't know if you want to put yourself into that, and that's okay. You know, I struggle with like certain types of people. Like I didn't want. I mean, I guess I just didn't want some like a rich lawyer that would just act like, you know, he was so much better than me. And I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but I find myself to be intelligent, but if you got some PhD from something in American Lit, we have nothing in common.
Right, yeah.
And that's okay. But, you know, I never wanted a Star Wars geek either, and guess what?
You got you one now.
I got me one. But, you know, it's okay to have those differences, but like you said, if there's something that you're not, like you said, camping and fishing and
yeah, those are the things that he loves to do, and I'm repelled by them, then I don't think that there'd be a big chunk of time of him doing that stuff alone.
Right.
And I'm sure him being a 40-something-year-old or a 50-something-year-old doesn't want to have to do that. They want to, they want to enjoy. They're looking for somebody who likes to do those kind of things with you, and I don't, man. I don't. I like the outdoors. Don't get me wrong. I just don't want to sleep outside.
Yeah, go outside and let's walk around the waterfalls and let's go to the park. But let's go find a nice little hotel room with a
right. Because at the end of the night, I want a bed and I want AC.
Shower.
An AC.
Shower. I'm not taking a bath in the pond with a bar of soap. I don't know what's down there that might bite my toes.
Oh man.
But it's like my daughter's father was a hunter. I mean, he hunted and my stepbrother's the same way. They hunt turkey season, they hunt doe season, they hunt whatever other seasons of hunting there is out there. Her whole wardrobe was camouflaged and there were guns hanging on the wall and deer heads everywhere. That's great. More power to you, but I'm not going to go sit in that tree stand with you. I'm not shooting a deer, and I'm not cooking it up or skinning that deer.
I'm not cleaning that thing.
Mm-mm. Same thing with fish. I'll go to a restaurant, you cook it up, put it out in front of me, I'm good. But you bring home a fish and expect me to cut it and scale it. And we went to a supermarket that had like live fish in there swimming around. And okay, I want that one. What do? You take it home and chop its head off and cook it? I'm good. I'll go to the restaurant and let them cook it for me. But I'm not also one that has to go to these like big expensive restaurants where the meals are $100, $200 a piece. I'm not that girl either. You take me to
guys don't even take you out to eat anymore. No, they don't. They want to. What I've noticed and the trend that I've been seeing is that men are like, I don't want nothing serious, but I want a long-term relationship. So what they want is like a friendship or like, you know, something very casual until they decide if they want to have a long-term relationship with you. It's like they don't really know what they want. And then you have the men who do know what they want and they're not budging, just like women. Yeah. They're not budging on what they want. And then they'll tell you. The men, the best conversations that I've had with men that I have liked online, who I have messaged, they've come back to me and said, I don't think that we would be a good fit.
But at least
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and instead of just
not answering me.
Hello.
Or whatever. You don't even have to tell me why. Because I really don't care why. But just tell me that
we're not going to work.
I don't think that we're compatible. That's
instead of letting me sit out here and wait on you to respond.
Yeah.
Well, I had a friend that dated a guy for like 2-3 years. You know, they were just like, and she kept hitting like, you know, we're going to get married. No, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind. I'm not ready. So she finally just said, I can't do this anymore. I'm getting older. I want children, this and that. 6 months later, he was engaged. So obviously
it was her.
It was her, but she doesn't know what she did. If he would have just said, no, it's not going to work because of A, B, and C, it would have helped. But
why did you waste that woman's time if you knew that's what she wanted?
And you weren't going to marry her. You were just looking for something else.
You were just waiting for the other person to come along. Right. That's what it feels like anyway.
Have you seen those TikTok videos where these women would go out to restaurants and they'd order like all these expensive meals and then look at the guy like, okay, thanks. and get these to-go boxes and stuff and take
Oh,
all
I
their
heard
food.
that. Yeah. I saw the one where she ordered like 4 or 5 meals and she was bringing them home to people.
Yeah. Taking them home to my boyfriend. But,
and that's why those kind of women.
Why men don't want to pay.
That's why men don't want to take women out anymore. They want to either meet your house or you to come to them.
Well, you ain't coming to my house.
Or that's a definite no for me.
Definitely not the first date. We ain't coming to my house.
But they just want to meet someplace casual. They don't want to actually date.
Which is so weird.
It is weird.
Then why are you on a dating site?
Because dating these days is not
but these guys
dating as we know it, as it is.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Somebody explain it to me. I don't understand. I mean, I'm very
the rules.
thankful that I have Joel. I really, God, every day I'm thankful that I have Joel. Because the older we get, the more complicated it seems.
Yes. I'm too young for the serious older dating sites because like there's a 50 plus one
silver
that I kind of want to. No, it's called Our Time.
Oh, okay.
Our Time. It's called. It's like 50 plus, and I kind of want to go on that site
just to see.
But I'm 45.
I'm looking for
because, dude,
I
just can't. The POF, the Facebook dating, the Tinder, which I haven't been on yet, the BBW Cupid. I tried that one.
BBW Cupid.
It's for bare women, but it's just you have to pay for everything. You have to pay a membership fee, and then you'll be able to message.
Was it eHarmony, and what was the other one? There was like
Match. There's Match.
Yeah, those are ones. You had to pay for those. And I was like, I can't afford to pay. I can barely afford to take care of myself, much less pay for a dating site to meet these same losers. Right? I hate to say it, but if I'm getting messaged by the same guys on all 6 different sites, something's wrong with one of us.
Well, there is this one guy that I have seen on, I used to go on this site called Meet Me. It was an app called Meet Me. I've since not gone on there no more because now it has like shifted. There was a big break between I was dating and then I stopped for a couple months and now I'm dating again. But the transition from that time to this time, Meet Me has turned into prostitutes. And like people selling themselves.
No.
And you can like do live, and there's a lot of scammers and stuff like that, but it used to be better. And then when I went back on it, I was like, no, this is not for me.
You can't afford me anyway. I'm selling myself.
That's where you get all those like people messaging you to be their, they want to be your sugar daddy.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like, hey, what if I give you $5,000 a week? What would you do with it? It's like they want to know what you're going to do with it. It's like, what do you care
what do I got to do to get that $5,000?
Apparently you just have to chat with them throughout the day. Yeah, I'm sure that's all it is.
Okay.
So I always said, no, thank you.
I'll pass because I don't know what that $5,000 entails, but no, thanks. First when you're single and you're like, oh, well, wouldn't have to work anymore. Oh my God, what, you just want pictures of my feet? I can do that. Nope. But there, there's, and the thing is, it's funny because, and I don't know, believe me, I'm not putting anybody down or criticizing anybody that's out there looking because I know it's hard. But there's these guys that'll come on there and they'll want their women to look like they just walked out of a magazine. But they look like they've been sitting in that recliner for 30 years with their belly hanging out over their freaking belt. But they want us to look like,
Oh, yeah. They are definitely out there, too.
Standards are high for some. And
keep dreaming your dream.
Yeah. Good luck. Because my mama said when I grow up, I can do anything I want to do. I can have me a supermodel. Okay, good luck. But we got to have our standards as women. We got to know what we need and what we want in our lives. And the biggest mistake I made when I went from my ex-husband to before I met Joel was going backwards. Like I went back to guys that I had dated before.
Oh yeah.
And no, once I've shut that door, I need to lock it, nail it shut, deadbolt it, remove the door, whatever it takes.
I had a setback myself when I first left Tony.
Yeah.
I had it was like my very first love.
Yeah.
I contacted him. We talked for a little bit, but then I realized men don't change. Men do not change. And I actually, and that was years ago because I left Tony 8 or 9 years ago. But just recently, he asked me, this guy, I'm just going to say his name, Mark, he sent me a Facebook message. I'm like, you know what? Let me see what's going on with him. And so I was like, so I messaged him because he sent me this Facebook request with no message, no nothing, just, hey, you want to be friends? So I accepted it, and then I sent him a message, and I was like, why did you ask me to be your Facebook friend? It's been years now.
Yeah, and all of a sudden,
yeah, and then all of a sudden, what did I cross your mind? You're just like, click, let me see if she'll be my friend again.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, why not?
Why?
And I'm like, but I want to know why.
Yeah, there's why not's not an answer.
Yeah, it's not an answer. I've known this man since I was 16 years old. Actually, before that, but we dated when I was 16, 17 years old. And I'm just like, you are the same guy.
Yeah.
The same exact guy you were then that you are now.
You watch Friends.
Yes.
And there was an episode where Monica went out with Rachel's boyfriend from high school, because Monica was the big fat kid in high school.
Oh, yeah.
So she goes out with the guy, Chip, I think was his name, that Rachel went out with in high school. He's still working at the movie theater, still living with his parents, and still hanging with the same people he hung out with in high school, and it's been like 15 years. It's like, she's like, what the heck?
Right.
Well, I mean, you grow as a person, and you move on, and you become, your interests aren't the same.
If you're lucky, that happens for you. I mean, most people it does, but I have noticed that there are some people who are just okay with status quo.
Yeah.
And what's working right now.
Yeah.
And I don't get those kind of people.
No.
Because I have dreams. I want to do things.
Yeah.
I want to go places.
I don't want to just, like, I have friends that date, and all they do, they're dating. A girlfriend of mine is dating a guy, and all they do is hang out on the weekends and just watch TV and eat. They don't go anywhere. They don't do anything. They just, she goes to his house, and they just hang out and watch TV and eat. And that's what their life is about. And if they're happy, more power to them. But I like to go do things. I like to see things. I don't want to get older and go, damn, I wish I would have done that.
Right,
I want to go, thank God
I'm definitely feeling that these days. I mean, because, in my last relationship, we were very much homebody. I mean, we did things, but we were very much homebody, because I think that we were okay.
Yeah.
Being just us and hanging out and talking and whatnot. But then there gets to a point where you're just like, there's more, man. Yeah. There's more. And then when you're with a person who is such an introvert, it's hard to get them to want to do things.
Right.
And that's what calls into question your whole relationship.
Well, you figure we're at this age where we're not hitting the clubs. We're not hitting the bars. We're not out doing the things. But we're not going to the early bird dinner at Denny's and going to bed at 7 o'clock at night.
I don't know. I did that for a while because I had to get up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I get that because that's what I have to do with my job. But, we're not at that age.
We shouldn't be at that age. We did that. I mean, I know you're doing it now.
Because of the job,
I was doing it in my 30s.
And it's like, okay, I want to see what's out in the world. I can do it now. I don't have, my child's grown, so I don't have to worry about, being home at a certain time or making sure she's at band practice or chorus or what concert's going on or what competition I have to go to, or, making sure that I know where she's at and what she's doing and all this stuff, and making sure she's taken care of. Now it's just taking care of me and taking care of Joel and taking care of ourselves and building our future. But we don't want to go out there and blow every dime we have either, because we're going to want to retire one day and not be working and bagging groceries at 90. Would you like paper or plastic? Pick it up, I don't want to be that person.
That.
I think some of the people do it just because they don't want to be sitting around.
I had, because in the company I work for, I'm not going to say the name, but they keep people as long as they want to work.
Right. Ours is
like,
the same way.
They keep them, I mean, they might come in 2 days a week or 3 days a week. But I think once a certain kind of person, it's like if they don't have nothing, like if they don't have that purpose to get up and do every day, that they kind of wither away and just die. Well,
that's what my dad's afraid of. That's why he works a couple of days a week. He'll go in, and I think the dealership is that way. They'll just let him come in and do
people who are workers, I think that's a definite, problem. Is that when they retire, it's like they can't really retire. I mean, they can cut back, but it's like that's their life. That's who they are.
Well, now that we're talking about workers, some of these men without jobs.
Oh, Lord.
That's a pretty common thing. People that don't have to work or don't think they have to work.
Right.
The one thing that I did notice a lot when I was out there on the sites is either these guys didn't have jobs or they only wanted to work, their time when they wanted you working, but they didn't want to work. Like the guy with the $1,000 a month disability check. He wanted someone that could live off of. And that's another one of my red flag rules was like, you have to have a job.
Oh yeah.
I mean, live with mama.
For me, it's job and car.
Yeah. Yeah.
They keep picking your ass up all the time.
No, I don't care if you're going to give me gas money or not. I don't want to drive all the time. I want to drink occasionally and let you drive, and you're not driving my car, But
if he doesn't have a car, he probably has a suspended license.
Oh, damn. Just call that one right out. Jeez Louise. But, I thought it wasn't. But I had after my daughter's father, and that was a long time ago because we weren't together long, and like I said, she's 30. I realized I had set 3 rules for myself. Number 1, no mama's boys. Whether you live with mama or, mama's number 1 over you as a, whenever my daughter would get sick and I'd get up and let me call my mom. She can take care of her better. Yeah, obviously she knows more than I do because she's raised children, but she's also my child that I need to learn to take care of. So no, we're not, no mama's boys, no unemployed fools. I don't care if you're like, oh, I just lost my job last week and I'm starting a new one. Well, let me know, because there'll be no I-do's without no W-2s, period. That's just it. And like you said, a car, a home, something like that. That shows that you're responsible.
Yeah. Because
if you don't have a car or,
at least that shows me you know how to pay bills. Because you got to have insurance. You got to pay your taxes. You know what I mean? Maybe a car note. I don't know.
Something to just prove that you
can adult properly adult.
Right. And I mean, if you live with your mom, that's fine. If, especially if your mom's sick and you're having to take care of her, she's living at your house and you're taking care of her or whatever. That's one thing. But if you're living in the basement, and mom brings you dinner every day, and brings it down there for you.
Does
and
your
picks
laundry.
Does all your laundry for you. And packs your lunch.
Red flag. That's a red flag.
That's flags flying in every direction. So, So you've pretty much just taken yourself off the sites now?
I have taken myself off of POF, off of Plenty of Fish, because there's a lot of scammers, a lot of men who just want to have sex. Which, don't get me wrong, I love sex, but I don't want to discuss. This is one thing that bothers me the most. You just start talking to a guy, and you haven't even met yet, haven't even talked about meeting yet. Within the first 24 hours, wants to know what your favorite position is in bed. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want you anywhere near me yet. Because I haven't met you in person yet. So how can I sit here and tell you?
How do I want all that? I don't even know what all that is.
Or they ask you, do you want me, baby? And you're like, no.
For what? No. I want you to take me to dinner. I want you to take me out and...
Woo me, bro.
Yeah,
woo me.
Nobody does that anymore.
No one does that anymore.
No.
And it's a sad state of things because women are upset. I see it all over TikTok. Women are upset about it. Men are upset about the whole dating world. So why don't we change it?
Yeah.
We need to change it if we want... to be able to find that person.
Have a quality relationship. Yeah. Something that, like with Joe and I, every day I think we learn something more about each other. We are, I for once in my life, I can honestly say I have a partner. A companion, a partner who has my back no matter what. And I have his. And people say that, oh yeah, I just want this, I want that, I want my best friend, I want my soulmate. He is my best friend to a point. But then I got Leah. Right. There are things that I talk to Leah about that I don't talk to him about. Because usually it's about him. Or Mike, or, things that he don't want to talk about. He's like, oh God. I'll get that look on his face like, God, I wish he'd shut up. That's when I start talking to Leah. But you want a quality relationship that you're going to grow together and build a future together. And it's not just a quick little jump in the sack and hope it works. That's not how relationships work. Don't send me a picture of your junk and expect me to go, oh, baby, I had to have me some of that. You know, what?
Can I just send all the men a PSA? Okay, it's a perfect public service announcement. A pic of your penis does nothing for us. We don't look at your penis like you look at boob pics or something.
No. But
we don't look at him and get all emotional.
Gotta have some of that.
Yeah, we don't do that. So the dick pics, and especially unsolicited, and the only reason that we solicit them in the first place is because we're trying to please you.
Yeah,
because we know that you want us to look.
Please send me that.
So whenever you ask and we say yes, it's only to please you because we really don't care.
No,
because I'm not worldly, but I mean, like, I've been with, I think, a good percentage of men to where I've seen every type of penis.
Yeah, I don't need to see it.
And it really doesn't matter.
I don't know, because
it really doesn't matter.
I had one guy tell me his was 12 inches long. I had to see that.
Dude, I had a guy who said he was 10, right? But his girth was really fat. I don't know if we could actually put this on the internet, what we're talking about right now. But he said his girth was a dude, and he sent me a picture, and by damn, it was a very girthy penis.
And all I said was,
and really big, and I was scared of it. And I'm like, where you gonna put that? I don't know, man. Do you know the average, uterus is only 7 inches?
Yeah, you ain't put that thing in.
As much that you can put into a woman is at the most 7 to 8 inches.
See, that's not what they tell us, though. They say a woman can take anything because they're giving birth.
You know? They can't.
I know.
Because there's a stop there.
Believe me, I know. I felt it.
I did once, too. And it hurt.
It's like you hit a wall.
Back up, bro.
Stop.
Back up.
But, but don't ask me to send you pictures on the first day. Hey, can I see your nipples? No, you cannot. That tells you right there, this is not a guy I want to go hang out with. This isn't a guy I want to...
Any sex talk, to me, anyways, me personally, any sex talk before we actually have seen each other in person, to me, doesn't feel right.
No.
I don't care. I'm sorry. I really don't care. I don't care what position you like. I don't care how you like it. I don't care what your fetishes are. I mean, unless they're weird. Then I care. So maybe you should give me a public service announcement.
Excuse me. What do you mean you like what? Explain yourself, because I don't understand. You are turned on by elbows?
Dude,
okay.
A man asked me if I would peg him. And I was just like, I felt really weird about it. I'm like, I'm not into that.
Sorry.
And we ended up not talking anymore, and he did. He found a woman that would peg him.
Well, good luck.
So
there's a woman. What do they call it? There's a lid for every pot.
There is a lid for every pot, man.
Mine might be lost in the back of a cabinet somewhere.
I don't know where mine is. I might be in another country.
I found my lid, and I have hooked it and snapped it on. Right? It ain't going nowhere.
Well, you're lucky.
Yes.
You're lucky. Yeah, Danielle's lucky, and Sierra's lucky.
Is Joel lucky?
Yes, of course he's lucky. But I was only naming the women.
No, I'm just saying. I hope he realizes he's lucky.
Dude, all of men are lucky.
Yeah.
If they get stuck with any of us.
Right.
But I don't know.
And I'm the lucky one that he's going to get to live life through menopause with me. Because he's like, well,
good luck.
What are we expecting? Hell, I don't know. I don't know.
You have a mom to ask questions to, dude. I don't have a mom to ask questions to.
But see, my mother had a hysterectomy when I was a kid, so hers isn't quite. She's not
going naturally through it, right?
But
yeah.
She's had hot flash. My mom is going to be 74. I had to do the math. 74 this year.
Mm-hmm.
She's had hot flashes for 20 years. What?
Oh, that sucks.
I've had them like the last 4 nights in a row. I woke up just miserable. I'm just like, what the hell?
I hate that for you.
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm not behind. I'm not far behind.
It runs him out of the bed and gives me the whole bed. So, he says it's not my fault. Oh, I couldn't sleep.
Dude, I have a friend who is pushing 60, and she had to put an AC unit in her bedroom, even with her central air. She had to put an extra AC in her bedroom.
You know the best part?
Stay cool at night.
The best part about menopause.
What is it? No more bleeding.
No more monthly visitor. That bitch just left the building.
And I would like to talk about that too. Because, like, I don't know about you. Because, like I said, I don't have a mom, right? You know, my mom died when I was in my 20s. So, my monthly has gotten worse. Because when I was younger...
Oh, mine did towards the last couple of years. It was so bad.
It was like... Because in the beginning, I would get cramps one day.
Mm-hmm.
One day. The first day. And they didn't even start until I saw it.
Oh.
Okay? The cramps started. I take Tylenol. Never again. This last 2 monthlies, the pain has lasted 3 full days.
Really puts it down.
In the back, in the legs, in the tummy, everywhere, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's ridiculous. It's like, why? Why now?
Maybe maybe she's coming to an end and she's wanting to leave the building and be done. Like, you know, it's time to exit. So I'm going to get just...
Maybe
my final push out.
Maybe. Because, I say all the time, Lord, if you ain't going to give me babies, take it away.
Why do I need it?
Take it away. But then I don't want the weird hormone stuff and the hot flashes.
I don't have any of that stuff.
What are you talking about, crazy lady? What are you talking about?
You know, I was already...
I've seen 3 different moods in one day with you. And I was only here for 6 hours.
I mean, I was emotional before. It's just gotten so bad. It's like, you just look at me the wrong way. And I'm like, what? Bitch, you want to fight? No, it's okay. Yeah, that's the person I have become. And my fiance is so lucky that he gets to go through all that.
I'm not looking forward to any of that at all. Because also the 2 weeks before my monthly is like absolutely insane. I feel like a crazy person.
Oh, you'll get to do that every day during menopause.
Luckily right now it's only 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks a month.
Now you have it every day.
I get 2 weeks off.
No period, but moods. Woo! And then you get phantom pains. Like, I'll just get this weird pain. And it's just a menopausal pain. How do you know? Because you can't, you know.
There's no tracking it.
I get this pain like in my arm, like right here. Or bruises. It's just all the fun stuff. I can't, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better.
Getting old's ugly, as
But you know, this is how you deal with it. Right here.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's it. Well, ladies, this was fun. We'll have to do it again and again and again because it's really cool. This like discussion because God only knows what we're going to come up with again. Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, follow.
Give a like.
Keep coming around because we got more to say.
Right.